Hello and welcome to The Prime. My name is Clinton Kituru. So today we're going to talk about democracy in Africa. Most countries in the world are grappling with lots of political deficit, yet there's a perception that Africa lags behind in these most nebulous of political terms. Well, is Africa a continent that is led by old autocratic men? For this and much more, join me as I take you through some of the best African leaders of all time and some of the worst African presidents ever existed in Africa. But first, let's have a look at some of the best African presidents of all time. Number 1 is Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela is well known for South Africa's anti-apartheid movement. Inspired by Mahatma Gandhi, this leader of international repute directed a campaign of peaceful non-violent defense against South Africa's government and its racist policies. Later, he served as the President of South Africa from 10th of May 1994 to 14th of June 1999. Today, he is regarded as a symbol of global peace and he is considered the best leader in the history of Africa. He won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1993. He died on the 5th of December 2013 at the age of 95. Number 2 is Kwame Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah was the leader of Ghana and his predecessor states of Gold Coast from 1951 to 1966. He was the first Prime Minister of Ghana. He was the founding member of the Organization of African Unity, OAU, which later became African Union, AU. He was the outspoken advocate of Pan-Africanism. He died on the 12th of April 1972 at the age of 62. In number 3 is Patrice Lumumba. Patrice Lumumba founded the mainstream movement National Congolese Party. He played a major role in campaigning for independence from Belgium. He was the first democratically elected Prime Minister of Congo. This Congolese independent leader called for national unity and overall African independence. After the country fell into the hands of military leader Mobutu, this great leader was arrested and taken to Kadanga, where he was killed on the 14th of June 1961. Unfortunately, the United Nations did not intervene to save him. And in number 4 is Julius Nyerere. Julius Nyerere was one of Africa's most respected figures. He was the first president of Tanzania and took office on 29th of October to the 5th of November 1985. He voluntarily stepped down in 1985. He was premier when Tanganyika was granted internal self-governance and was made the president in 1961. In 1964, he successfully negotiated the union of Tanganyika and Zanzibar, resulting in today's Tanzania. This great leader guarded himself against corruption. He was respected by many world leaders in his time. He died in 18th October at the age of 77. But Africa, just like other continents, has had its fair share of bad leaders. Let's have a look at some of them. Idi Amin. Known best by best of titles which include His Excellency, President for Life, Field Marshal, Dr. Idi Amin Dada, Lord of all the beasts of the earth and fishes of the seas, conqueror of the British Empire in Africa in general and Uganda in particular. His tyrant as an African dictator was just as much eccentric as it was destructive. He was known for numerous human rights abuse, political oppression, ethnic persecution, corruption and gross economic mismanagement. Today, it is estimated his regime killed 500,000 people in Uganda. Due to his erotic behavior, historians have speculated that he suffered from undiagnosed bipolar disorder. This diagnosis seemed more possible once you learned that Idi Amin allegedly would eat the hearts of his political enemies and would appear charming, happy and charismatic one minute and then suddenly angry and violent with little or no warning. Idi Amin's reign of terror finally met its end when Idi Amin abruptly invaded the neighboring country of Tanzania after his military was defeated by Tanzanian forces. Idi Amin would then spend his entire life in exile and eventually died in 2003. After seizing power during a military coup, President al-Bashir then said about eliminating political parties in Sudan. To establish this, he disbanded the country's parliament and shut down all privately owned media houses. Famously corrupt, Bashir embezzled $9 million of Sudan's public treasury to his own private bank accounts. His irony reap of power, however, was not met without opposition, as civil war broke out shortly after he began his presidency. The Sudanese civil war eventually caused over 1 million killed and other several to be displaced and the division of Sudan. President al-Bashir is currently wanted by the International Criminal Court (ICC) of instigated crimes against humanity. Well, the only question that I have for you today is, do you think democracy is fully practiced in Africa or your country in particular? You can keep this conversation going through leaving your comments in my YouTube channel, shown right below your screen. It's goodbye for now. Let's do this some other time. But peace prevail.